Welcome back, Strayhorn. You are tuning into Strayhorn Local Culture.
Today we're going to take a look at school safety and security.
It has been debated that schools should have armed teachers. We asked some staff and students their thoughts on the issue. Stay tuned for the following. Okay. And,
Go.
do you think the Tate County District should have teachers armed?
Yes.
Yes?
No.
We'll interrupt this broadcast. What do you think? Do you think teachers should be armed?
No.
No? Why for?
I can't be armed. Why can they be armed?
All right. And that's his opinion.
That is a real good opinion right there.
All right. Okay. So,
Pretty good statement.
okay. So you think people in Strayhorn or Tate County District should be armed?
Certain people, yes.
Certain people. You think it should be
Maybe
like
not like every school, but some schools.
Yeah, like specifically Strayhorn.
Depends on how whichever school has like more violence, right?
Yeah.
I guess.
Would you
Shelby
say that?
County.
Would you say that Strayhorn is a very calm school?
I mean, it's moderate. It can be crazy sometimes, but most of the time it's just people being stupid.
All right. Harley, you got any input?
I would probably say that Tate County ain't much of a struggle as probably DeSoto County or Shelby County. You know, that's where that tough stuff is up in Memphis.
All right, Zach, you got any
That's all I
questions?
gotta tell you.
No, I don't.
And that's the interview.
Go.
Hello, Strayhorn. Today I am with myself, Zach, and Miss Davis, and we will be asking you a few questions whether teachers should be armed. What is your opinion on this matter?
I believe that there can be certain teachers armed in school just in case something happened, if we had an intruder or so. Because if we can have first responders for a situation where a kid ends up, there's a health issue within the school for staff or students, I think we can probably have the same thing where certain teachers are armed, someone who's been trained, someone who's been checked mentally, physically to be able to endure something like that. Maybe somebody who has a military background, maybe someone who has been a former police officer or something in that manner to be able to be that person or those people within the school building who can do such a thing and carry a weapon.
So what type of weapon or firearm would you suggest people have?
I would suggest they have a gun.
Yeah,
Like some people, they can have like a shield, like a
like
bulletproof shield.
not like a sniper rifle.
No,
Yeah,
none of
I
that.
think that they can probably be equipped with all of the things such as a police. If they're going to be highly trained, quite possibly within the school system, they can be trained to have all of what a police officer have to have, maybe on the bulletproof vest to prevent themselves from getting hurt, to protect the school or either the students and teachers within the school.
Do you think that we need it in the Strayhorn area, like Tate County? Do you think that idea is needed?
You just never know. So it would be possibly a good idea. Like I said, you can't arm every teacher because sometimes some teachers are not okay. That's just across the board. We're all human, and you just never know what somebody's going through. So, but overall, I believe quite possibly you can probably arm 1 or 2, 3 people within a school, and it may deter, or either they can be like federal marshals on a plane to whereas you don't know who is that marshal and something breaks out, then yeah.
So it will like reduce the injured and casualties, but what if like in one class the shooting happens, like a child pulls out a gun or something, and the person who's trained is in a whole nother class, like down another hallway.
That's just going to be something that they basically, I believe you can figure out logistics on that. You can figure out logistics with that situation to be, for that, all of what I'm saying to come in, to be able to happen.
So do you think, how do you think it'll affect the students knowing that one of their teachers has a firearm? Do you think they'll provide
That's what I'm
safety?
saying. It could be maybe like the federal marshal situation to whereas, on airplanes, no one knows who our federal marshals, and when trouble breaks out, that's when you do know who's who. So, but overall, I just think it could possibly help. It may sound crazy to a whole bunch of other people, but I just think it would be a helpful situation, because you just never know what will happen within the school, and that person, those people overall can just be there until the police comes. I'll put it that way. They can be armed and ready to do whatever needed until the police come, and then allow them to take over.
All right. Well, that concludes
Yeah.
the interview.
As a
Thank
joke,
you for tuning
maybe
in.
we can train.
Start. Hello, Strayhorn. It is I, Brandon, Zach Sawyer, and Miss Rigby. Today we're going to be talking about whether teachers should be armed with firearms. Miss Rigby, what is your opinion on this subject?
So my opinion on this subject is that I think only a select few should be carrying a firearm, with, of course, training, like their concealed carry and stuff, and then also having students not know like who those select few are that carry. That's my opinion.
I got you.
So they're least likely to harm others. That's my opinion.
Eduardo, come in, and they pass through you. All right. Now, yeah, that is a good idea because it could have an effect on the students if they know exactly who is armed. They would be nervous around the teachers. Zach, do you have any questions?
I mean,
Yeah.
why do you, I mean, I'll say here, why do you think no one starts shootings at armories or gun conventions? Because if they do that, things are going to go well for them. I want to say that.
All right. That's all you got.
So, do you think that the people that do have the firearms and are trained, you think they should have any type of consequences if they do try to act all weird and stuff with it?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Good question.
Like the consequences of the people who are trained to have the gun
Oh, okay.
or a firearm. Do you
They
think that
misuse their power.
Yeah. If
So
if they
use
misuse,
that?
yeah.
Yes, of course they should. They
Like what
should
type
be
of
immediate.
consequences do you think they should have?
I don't know. Maybe
Have their firearms,
Suspended
have their
from-
firearms revoked.
suspended
I think I have to
from
avoid that.
school and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
More questions? You got any more input?
No.
Good. Cut.
Go.
Hello, Strayhorn. This is Brandon, Mr. BB, and Zach, and we'll be asking him a question on whether or not teachers should be armed. What is your opinion on this matter?
That's a wild question. My honest opinion is I think there's circumstances, guys, where it could be beneficial, but I honestly question whether certain teachers need to. I could see scenarios where there's a few teachers maybe I would trust with the responsibility of keeping that firearm safe with them and on them and secured away from maybe an unruly student or somebody that wants to play a little joke or a game.
Yes.
There's other teachers that I would question or wonder about their ability to keep that safe or to know when to use that for its intended purpose. So for that reason, I'm out.
Yes, sir. All
So,
right.
do you think it's a difference between having a security and an actual teacher or principal carrying a firearm?
Like if we have like a school resource officer on campus or like an armed security guard.
Yeah.
That's a really good question, Zach. I think it really kind of probably comes down to the level of training that person has. I'd want to see what the credentials are of, in the training courses that maybe a security company has gone through. My natural instinct is to trust the police more because I know the level of training and background that's required to do something like that. I think I'd feel safer with a police officer than, teacher X or even myself being armed,
Yes.
carrying that responsibility on my hip or in, my desk. And what if I pulled it at the wrong time, the right time, the angry time when I'm angry at some, the responsibility of executing that at the wrong time scares me a little bit. I understand the need for it. I think we need to make our priority always is about keeping you guys safe, the teachers safe. Every school member that goes to school here and works here needs to feel as if they're secure and safe from the worst case scenario happening. My natural instinct just tells me I'd feel a lot more safe with a police officer on campus because of their training, because of their background, than maybe some teacher who comes a little unhinged because he or she's having a bad day.
So, as far as the emotional safety of students, so of course you would feel safe with a police officer. Do you think that would reflect the same with students?
That students would feel safer with a police officer?
Yes, sir.
I think they would. You know, the relationship between a teacher and their students can occasionally go bad sometimes, and even if it can be temporarily bad. I mean, just for that period, somebody's having a bad day, somebody's rubbing the teacher the wrong way, the teacher brings in something from the outside and is having a bad day. You know, that police officer has a different relationship with the students. It's much more neutral. It's not as heavily influenced by in-class dynamics than, you know, the relationship between a teacher and a student is 180 days times 100 minutes at the high school. It's a lot of time for, you know, I'm a little upset with you today because you didn't do your homework, or I'm upset with you today, Zach, because you won't stop talking, or whatever. You know, all the reasons why, even for a short time, it can seem like students and teachers have small conflicts. The police officer has kind of got one job, and that relationship with the kid is different. It's not as influenced by all the ways the relationship with the teacher can be great, or sometimes not so great.
Zach, you got any questions? Are you good?
No, I'm good. He answered all my questions.
All right, guys. Tune in next time. Struggling Local Culture.
That was very interesting. Now here's a brief look at the fun times that people had at prom.
Let me tell you something.
Man, who are you?
What you doing in the
Man,
bathroom?
what are
you heading to the bathroom right now?
Yeah.
And what's so great about the bathroom? All these people heading to it.
I gotta use the bathroom.
What you mean by that?
I gotta use the bathroom. Something go. What go? Where did all go?
I'm watching
Where did
you.
all go?
I'm watching you.